Crystallars is a beautiful map, but deadly when you add the mod Pugnacia. I have 100 days to defeat the bosses and some other goals to be revealed soon. Can I do it? Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. This seriously took a really long time to make. We wake up on a beach, look at our arm, scratch it, look around, it's gorgeous, and a dodo is chasing us. We run. So we need to get the basics. We need some stone, thatch and wood. Open up the inventory and guess what? Pugnacia gives you a pickaxe and a hatchet for free. Level up some movement speed and we're good to go. I found my first piece of bait, tame. I called her Lizzie. She was pretty good for a first tame. I gave her a pat, took her for a ride, and realised she can't even harvest. Pretty useless, actually. I found some crystal nearby. This was going to be great. I'd make a spyglass. I put down a sleeping bag. I went for an adventure. Found this conflagrant dodo. Only level 252, but this is perfect for my level. I've got a Pugnacia slingshot, which deals awesome amount of torpor. I knocked it out. I threw some berries into its inventory, and I thought, sweet, I got my first carnivore. And I died. Death 1, done. Respawned. Named my new dodo Doo-Doo. They survived. Yay! Lizzie and Doo-Doo. Popped some levels into movement speed and then just enjoyed the rest of day 1. It's beautiful on Crystallars. I took Doo-Doo out to level up and meet the locals. They were a bit hostile. They weren't very friendly at all. I met this cute stud on the beach. I thought he could be really helpful and part of our tribe. So I tamed him up. I called him Peter, crafted him a saddle, and had a look at what he could do. He could harvest stone that was on the ground. It's pretty cool. I went back to base, placed down some much needed essentials, and was rudely interrupted by this level 812 conflagrant dodo. So, used the Pugnacia slingshot, threw some stones at his head, got him down, tamed him up, and I felt like the man. I was unstoppable until I saw the yellow raptor in the distance. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to take the guys out to level them up. And did you hear that scream? That was Peter the Parasaur. They accidentally hit a glacial turtle. So the dodo went down first, tried to save Peter, tried to get him on passive and to follow me, but he was a bit slow. Whoops. I did the responsible thing. I came down to where his body was and I harvested it. I met someone new. I got a new Parasaur in my life. Level 812, another male. Tamed him up and I called him Peter 2.0. I decided that we needed a jug bug. I don't know why, but I wanted one. So I bolted it, shot it in the head, got it out, gave it some berries, and when he was done, I picked him up and he's on my back. Best looking backpack you've ever seen. This is a trendsetter, guys, and you saw it here first. Finally put down a forge, went to look for some metal, and then pondered my life. I've got none. And that's how we ended up on day 2. At the beginning of day 3, we woke up, and there's a Spino near our base. So I thought I'd go and annoy the local wildlife again. We met this guy. We were doing okay. Everything was fine. Until his mate came over. Like, that's not cool. We were only hitting at 482. He was hitting at 534. I was getting really worried. He had 19,000 health. I was thinking that my dodo It wasn't looking good, but we persisted. It's not as if we could have run away. And we finally got there. But it was close, guys. It was so close. So after that last interaction, I was strolling along the safe beach and saw this beaver. Knew there had to be a dam nearby. Didn't have much health. Took him down nice and easy. And I found the dam. Easiest cementing paste ever. Came back home and saw that Spino was getting its ass handed to it. Said, thank you, Brontos. You got rid of my problem. And that's how we ended up day 3. In the early hours of the morning, I found this Pteranodon. She's a level 560, and I thought she'd be really good. She's going to come in handy. So I knocked her out, bundled her up, and then went to hit some rocks. Got some metal. Came back home, popped a saddle on her, wanted to gather up all my possessions. I wanted them all. And that happened. So I took out my Pteranodon. I wanted to find the perfect base location. I wanted somewhere flat that we could build on, away from the crabs though. They can jump up. So I needed to go a bit higher. Kept flying all through the night, and that's when I found it. It was up here. It was big. It was flat. It was perfect. Popped down a magic pumpkin, built myself a base. It's not a bad little base. It's a 2-bedder. Put down some necessities, some beds, the gravestone, some storage, and of course, the refining forges. Nice. Day 6, and I needed some better gear. Decided to do some loot hunting. The drops on Crystal Isles are pretty good. I can't complain. But when I was coming back from this one, this guy. I went home, put down a smithy and a Pugnacia smithy, decided I needed a new Pteranodon, so I tamed it up. I only took a couple of shots to the head, and it was mine. Decided I needed a better tame. I found a Conflagrant Spino, level 784. I was so happy. I decided I wanted it, climbed up on this hill and started shooting it with my trank arrows. It was slow, but I got it down. But I could hear something. I didn't know what it was. So I decided to go down and take a look. And this little was licking my frog. I tried to get it away, but it was too late. It ruined my taming efficiency. So rip to my Spino. It's not like I wanted it anyway. Found another one. Wasn't a 784, but I did really want one. So I took the time, I shot it, I knocked it out, and I called her mine. On day 7, I found where they've been hiding the metal. And then I found redemption. Level 728, I got my Spino. I knocked it out, I tamed it, and I also tamed this thing. Brought my creatures home and made a water well. Finally had a drink. Been dying of thirst. And I put down a soul terminal. Day 9, and I needed some spoiled meat. What better way to find some? Let's kill a zombie Jerboa. I brought Pete out, needed some narco berries. I thought I gathered heaps. But when I made a couple of arrows, that was it. It was a couple. So I took him out again. And that's before I cracked it. I thought there has to be a better way. So I found this bloke. Tamed him up, middle of the night. Knew he'd come in handy. And I called him Crikey. So I took my new best mate out. He's great at harvesting. Check out this shot. Yeah! I can't believe I nailed that. Found a max level Spino. Managed to get him, knock him out, and tame him up. You beaut. Literally had the Jeezies scared out of me. And Onik, why are you attacking me? Why are you so mean? You're supposed to be passive. I started day 11 by adding another Spino to my collection. And that's when I realised I needed to get started on my first goal. I wanted to place an ascension portal down by day 20. This is going to allow all the bosses to start spawning in, and then I can start taming them up and getting some better loot. So with that being said, Sandra and Sam, you got to get to work.
Shall we shag now or shall we shag later?
I got licked by this frog, and I liked it. So I decided to knock it out, tamed it up, and I called it Chem Bench, because that's what it does. Found a conflagrant mammoth. Took some pretty cool shots. Managed to knock it out too, and I called it Charcoal. I took a trip back home. I met my new baby boy. I called him Simon. I needed some more ammunition. I'd found a really cool shotgun in a loot drop. And I also needed some more trank arrows. So time for some more berry harvesting. Utility tames were important. I found this conflagrant Dodicarus, and she was going to be so important. I knocked her out, and guess what I called her? Industrial Grinder. Now I can't believe I haven't told you yet. I've got a Discord. I share it with my friend September Duck. There's some really cool fellow YouTubers on it, so make sure you click the link in the description and come and join us. I took the egg! Yeah. I came back home to collect Simon, and under Captain Reptile's awesome guidance, we made our way to the desert. This is the first time I've used this, 28,000 damage.
Depending on, I mean, you can probably kill it quicker than it can bite you.
Captain has heaps of experience in modded maps.
No.
Oh, yes, so I listened to him.
Oh, in this mod they do. Okay, the normal extinction.
And we were able to take on the biggest beasts. Good. This can all die. I found an ancient Rex. Now, Captain assured me that I could take it down. Wish me luck. And I trust him. And we did. Now, I need to kill ancient Rexes or turkeys in order to get the golden kibble. When you've got the golden kibble, then you can tame the primevals and the primals. And that's our next goal.
Oh, that was so
we
easy.
need to tame all primals by day 40.
You did it.
Yay! Simon got some air.
Oh. Okay. Calm down. Oh my god.
Before you land, make sure you jump off it.
When am I going to land?
You don't make the water. Oh my god, that was so funny.
Okay.
You have to keep that in, Kay.
So enough clowning around. We have 2 goals to complete. The first one is placing an ascension portal by day 20, and that's coming up fast. We need to raise some boss killing dinos, get some better gear. I need to find some of the rarer resources and complete my utility tame collection. And that's just the start. So with the nearly placed teleporter down, I called it Home Sweet Home, and I set off to find some better loot. I found this yellow drop. I was excited. It had a long neck rifle. I needed one. But do you think I could get it? This was going to be a long-running theme. Kay and her rifle hunt.
Can I kill this rock?
You can hit the rock.
No, it's not breaking.
Yeah. Oh no.
I needed some silica pearls, and this lake had everything I could ever want. Just had to clear out some of the nasty dinos, and then all the pearls you could ever need are yours. Cloth boots, wow. After my disastrous luck loot hunting, I tamed up a conflagrant Maywing to be my generator, and tried to tame an Anki, but it clearly didn't go to plan. So when I went back home, I found the closest turtle to me and took my anger out on it. He would work well in my base as my new fridge. I tried to get lucky by doing some drop hunting, and wouldn't you know it, I missed out on that rifle again.
Oh my god, it went away. It had a rifle.
So with all my pent up anger, these bugs, they had to die. After finally getting around to placing a fabricator and figuring out how to hitch a dino, it was now time to place down the ascension portal. The bosses were now starting to spawn in the world. We've made our first goal, and with 2 days to spare, nailing it. On the morning of day 19, I took my Pteranodon out to find me a griffin. I went to the only spot I knew of, which was the Griffin Trench. There were so many, and I didn't know how to single out just one, but luck was finally on my side.
You'll do.
I found a decent level 1 at the top and lured it away. I tamed it up, I called it Gina, and took full advantage of the ability to shoot off the back, and I knocked out a snail. But I didn't have any sweet vegetable cakes, so I left it. The bosses were spawning in and they had huge amounts of health. A quick calculation of the mass, and I was
Primal
confident that we could
Megapithecus.
take down the giant monkey. Yes.
Easy.
The Indominus Rex was the next to go down, and he only took 2 bites. I seriously expected more of a fight. I wanted to fully level my Spino, and I knew the perfect place to go, the Griffin Trench. A quick run through from start to end, and we were fully leveled. I was trekking around the map, eating anything that got in our way, when I saw a glacial giga. I must have it. Taking to the skies with Gina, we were able to deliver the nearly
got it, watch it,
300,000
down.
torpor to call this new beast mine. We brought him back home and gave him the fitting name, Socks. I managed to tame up a snail for cementing paste and a roo for some apex drops. It looks so cute sitting there all together and reminds me of home. I placed down heaps of standing torches to hatch some Spinos and decided to raise up a little girl I called Sienna. She would be Simon's mate and would help take down the early game bosses. Whilst I waited for her to grow up, I went to the desert and placed a teleporter for easy access. I would be spending a lot of time here, so this was a huge time saver. Taking Socks out on his first adventure was so much fun, although this turkey really packs a punch. Nelly killed Socks twice. Health potions really come in handy. After killing a few more things in the desert, I ventured out and found another glacial giga. I was so excited, even though it was a level 784. I wanted a breeding pair. Knocking it out was a breeze. Haha, get it? I named her Gloria. I teleported her home and realised, oh, I'm an idiot.
Why? What did you do?
I have 2 males.
Okay.
How did that happen? That's not the way breeding works. So after some disappointment, I renamed him Glenn. I set out to tame yet another griffin. I had a really bad feeling that I'd lose quite a few of them during this playthrough. Whilst I was flying on my new ride, I saw another glacial giga, and this time I checked. It was a female. So I managed to take it down, took care of all the nasties that were around, although I missed some. Luckily, she tamed quick due to the golden kibble and she got rid of them for me. She's such a good girl. I took her home. The boys were super happy to see her. Whilst my gigas were busy making me babies, I got to work on our next goal of taming all primals by day 40. I had a max level primal stego in my sights. I really wanted one to assist with berry gathering, as you can set the specific berry you want it to target and it receives a 2.5 times harvest buff. When I took my new tame home and inspected his beauty, his name, Rockstar Steve, came to mind, and together we got lots of narco berries. Placed some air conditioners down because we had some gigas to hatch. I picked the best male and female and decided to raise them up along with that Magmasaur egg I stole a while back.
My little girl.
She's so cute.
Aww.
I love her.
Whilst they were busy eating and growing, I took my mate boosted Spinos out to take on our first boss, Kyrene's little plant friend. I was riding on Sienna and I sent Simon in for the attack. We were doing alright, but we did need regular health potions here and there. That was until Simon started taking the aggro. I couldn't see his health, and he died as a result. So without the mate boost, we fought hard, and we ended up being victorious.
Flawless victory.
We ended up getting a volcanic chest piece, which can't be broken, and a special Kyrene crop plot for our troubles. I went home, put down our crop plot, and admired our beautiful baby girl. Back on the hunt for primals, and I found a tenacious primal kaikuru. It was only a penguin, and I realised that it did have an assault rifle, and it's not afraid to use it, but I totally thought I'd be safe up here. Apparently not. So let's scrap that idea. We need another griffin. And what's better than one griffin? 2 griffins. I ended up getting max level male. I called him Mr. Griffy, and I got a gorgeous hot pink female, and I called her Gloria. I went home, set all my new griffins to mating. Time for more babies. I had a primal Gigantopithecus in my sights. I managed to knock her out with only 2 darts, tamed her up, and she was just so damn majestic. I called her Monkey Gwen, and we went home to watch the stars. The next morning, our baby giggers were all grown up. I called the female, Lady Gargantuan, and took her out for some levelling. I took on a brood mummy and thought we could take on Kyrene again. With Lady Gargantuan doing nearly 500,000 damage per bite, it was super easy. She was my new boss killer, and look how happy she is with herself. Killing those turkeys wasn't even difficult anymore. She was a total vibe. I went after the 3rd trike, another boss, to see how he would go, and the doomed children that it summons, they really pack a punch. But we were successful, and we ended up getting volcanic helmet. I wanted more. We took on an elemental titanosaur. It's big, but no match for my girl. She went down easy, and we ended up scoring the volcanic leggings as well. I came across this unicorn, and you can't possibly pass one up once you see it. One shot was all it took, and I secured the fabled creature. I called her Horserella, checked out her swagger, and put her away. Back to boss killing. I took down Kyrene again, and I found MisterFister. He's a strong bugger, and ended up sending me flying. But we paid him back, and got some volcanic gauntlets. Pity our flak ones were better though. Next up was the terrifying Kraken. Now this is a thing out of your nightmares. Its attacks were fast, but with the Giga's special snowstorm ability chipping away at its health, it was no match for us. And just because we can, I took down his buddy as well. It was time for something a little more challenging. Introducing the Tempest, Bringer of Rain. This powerful beast has 134 million health. A tornado attack that will yeet you into the air if you aren't heavy enough. It took quite some time, but we never gave up and we beat this difficult boss. I was really hoping for some tech gear, and we got it. Tech leggings for the win. I spotted Mothra down by the river, and considering she is the boss tier below the Tempest, I thought she'd be no problem at all. But she hits so fast, and she's powerful as... I took her down quickly and got a pair of volcanic boots. I was feeling confident. Some may say a bit too confident. I took on Spinebreaker. She has one attack in particular that if you get hit by it, you'll die instantly. So to avoid this, the best way to defeat her is to walk backwards and make sure you don't get stuck. This would mean I would have to run for my life sometimes to get away. but we would always go back to continue. To say this battle was stressful was an understatement. After a full 5 minutes of attacking her, we won. For all our hard work, we got a pugnacious tranquilizing rifle and quickly learned the engram for the ammo. But did we ever use this weapon?
No.
After our early game victory of defeating the hardest world boss on day 30, we took out Horserella for a victory lap. It was time to get back to our goal of taming all primals by day 40. I had a pretty blue max level griffin in my sights, and I think you know how I feel about griffins by now. 2 shots to take it down and it was mine. It was so much better than Gina, so sorry, not sorry to Gina, out with the old and in with the new. This area had so many primevals in it, I thought I'd see what my new griffin could do. With the Megapithecus doing over 30,000 damage with 1 punch, I knew I'd have to level up first. Out on the hunt and a Primal Argentavis caught my attention. It did not go to plan and everything was trying to eat me. I got rid of all the pesky vermin and focused back on the blinged up Argy. I don't know why I was trying so hard to net it, when 1 trank dart was all it needed. Ah well, we got it and that's all that matters. I learnt my lesson when taming this primal Thyla. I ditched the net gun and shot it. This random low-level raptor wanted a piece of me.
You want a piece of me? You got it!
So I let him have it. Tamed up the Thyla and legged it out of there. Wound up on the outskirts of the desert and saw this primal tribe. They're so cool with the dual cannons coming out the side of its head. 2 shots and a bit of luck and it went down. I would have a very specific use for this dino later on. A primal terror bird was next. And can I say, they sound terrifying when they attack. I wasn't scared and tamed the noisy bugger. I got cocky again and tried to tame up an Indominus Rex. I went for the higher level one and pumped in more than 400,000 torpor before realising I didn't have any satiating nutriment, which I need to tame it. So back home to try and make some. But on the way home, I stumbled across this scene. My first look at a dragon and 3 Skarners in close proximity to each other. I'd been saving Skarner to last. It scared me the most. Its torpor attack is deadly. Back home, I forgot all about the satiating nutriment, but I did take out my new tames and lined them up. I named the Argy Rockstar Bling, the Thyla Viking Terry, Terrorbird shall be known as Cool Dude Tim, and Cranky Pants Theo is my new trike. We're only missing a few more for my collection. My last interaction with a primal Kaikuru didn't go so well. Ooh! So I was very cautious and stayed far away. I shot and ran. But it had gone down and now it was my portable jukebox. Say goodbye to silence around the base. A Primal Basilisk was next on my hit list, and even though it was quite aggressive, it was super cute with its puppy dog eyes. I came home and finally made some of that satiating nutriment so I can start taming up the primevals, which is my next goal, taming all primevals by day 60. I took the Terrorbird on a little fly and realised, oh my god, you can shoot off the back of a Terrorbird while flying. I still don't have an Anki. I knew what I had to do. My next tame would be a Conflagrant Anki. It would serve as my metal smelter. I'd put all the levels into crafting skill because it increases the speed at which it can smelt. Forget the industrial forge and hello Anki. I took out our new tame to this cool area that my friend September Duck told me about. It's just over by the Red Ob. It's full of metal, obsidian and crystal. I brought home so many resources. This was literally the last time I needed to farm metal. Back on the goal of taming the primals, an Arthroplura was next, and these things are just disgusting. They have a bleed effect in Pugnacia, and the sound they make when tamed up, it's downright disturbing. I had taming on the brain and I took down a big blue Spino, followed shortly after by a donkey. I was missing just one more. I took out Cranky Pants Theo to level him up. I needed a Primal Carcanos and my collection would be complete. My idea was to use the Trix cannon to knock the crab out. I killed the first crab but figured out what I needed to do. So tried it on this blue crab. Everything was going well. He was picking me up. I was shooting him in his face. Up until this stupid basilisk decided to get involved. It destroyed my crab in seconds. So it too must die. I found another crab, but it was near the Kraken. Made sure to stay far away from it. And I was doing well until I accidentally kinda killed it. Oops. Third time's the charm. I managed to knock it on its ass and tame it up. I was excited to get home and see them all together when I pressed the wrong button.
Oh my god. I just clicked the wrong button. Oh my god.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I lined everyone up. I'm so proud. They look so good together. I ended up naming the Spino Big Blue, the Basilisk Cutie Batootie, the Arthro is Bugger, and the Crab is Pinky.
Bang! Zoom! Right in the kisser! No!
So with all the primals having been tamed, it was time to move on to the next goal, and this brood mummy would be the perfect test subject. Primevals have a huge amount of torpor required to knock them out. This spider has 1.8 million, but persistence pays off, and before long, it was mine. For no reason other than I liked its colours, I tamed up this Velonosaur as well. I went back for the Indominus Rex I had attempted taming before. I knocked it out. I didn't trust this hippo nearby, so I knocked it out too. I tamed them both simply because I'd never had a pet hippo before, and it sounded like fun. I found myself in the snow and found a female Mr. Griffy. Tamed her to be his girlfriend and had the brilliant idea of taming up a Megapithecus in the water. This was ridiculous. It was so fast and more than half of all my shots missed. I should have given up, but I apparently am stupidly stubborn. So here is the Megapithecus that took forever and nearly caused me to do this. A Dodo Wyvern and Reaper Queen were having a little bit of an argument, so I waited to see who would win, and they decided to go their separate ways, which worked for me. I took to the skies and got me a Dodo Wyvern and went back for the Reaper. Found myself pregnant, quickly teleported to the desert to get my new Bubba some levels, 406 levels to be precise, built an outhouse, and gave birth to this slimy alien. After lots of little nips and bites, I could see the gorgeous little man he would become. I asked my Discord what his name should be, and well, meet Pickles. Thanks, Captain. While I waited for Pickles to grow up, I named my new Griffin, tamed a Nightmare Pegasus, found a den of Sabertooths that just had to die, and tamed another Indo. I took Lady Gargantuan out to pick some fights with the bosses and scored a second piece of tech armor. Thought I'd be cool and made a cloning chamber. But again, did I ever use this cloning chamber? had a deep and meaningful with my ride or die, and I danced the night away. Pickles was all grown up, so I needed to see what he could do. And he was good, but not like Lady Gargantuan good. So I went to find better. I found this hot pink Dodo Rex. He seemed happy to be mine, and we cemented our friendship by watching the sunset together. I was feeling good about myself and confident. Thought nothing of taming a Manticore, but boy was I wrong. I wanted to kite it somewhere a little safer than the redwoods, so I got it to follow me, let it take a shot so I could take a shot too, and I underestimated its torpor ability. Knocked me straight off my ride or die and into the water. I was stunned, not going anywhere, and that's when this Rex found me. Rip. I respawned, threw on my armour, grabbed Gina and did the shoot and run approach. If you run far enough away, it loses aggro quickly. It worked well enough and I tamed it up. Explored the redwoods a little bit, took on another Kraken to build my confidence as I was about to take on my first Skarner. Now if you think the Manticore's torpor attack is bad, wait till you see Skarner's. Within seconds, I needed to take a tonic or my Giga would have been knocked down. The good news is, there's a huge glitch where Skarner stops attacking you and lets you bite it in the bum. Easy win, but it does feel super cheaty. Got a tech helmet and a Skarner spike, winning. I really wanted a dragon. I was a bit traumatized still from what the Manticore did to me, so I attempted the same kind of taming technique. The shoot and run. It worked and we tamed it up. I wanted to see what the dragon was capable of, so to the Griffin Trench. Starting off with just over 90,000 damage was a great start. I quickly munched my way through the trench when I spied a Manticore. Revenge. I was keeping an eye on my dragon's torpor, but we were fine. Ate him all up and tried a turkey next. It was a piece of cake. Third trike for the ultimate test. Needless to say, Stragon is the man. Took down a few more bosses looking for better armour and tamed up this Terrestrial Bronto. You'll see why later. Spent the evening stargazing and we're halfway. Since the Manticore was such a pain in the ass to tame, I thought it was only fitting to take it out and see what it could do. It wasn't bad. I levelled it up in the Griffin Trench, took down Kyrene, then the third trike. I preferred the dragon though, so sorry, not sorry. I saw the final primeval I needed to finish my quest. I stabbed the phoenix with Skarner's spike and delivered more than 1.8 million torpor. Tamed it up and went out to find some more things to stab. Saw another phoenix, so stab, stab, stab. And that's when things kinda got bad. I was getting attacked by raptors, owls, managamas, all while my dragon watched on. Couldn't help myself though, saw a dragon, knocked it out, got pinned by this managama, ended up taming it up, and went home. Check out this bunch of warriors, all primevals, tamed before day 60. These quests are too easy. Time for something harder. Tame all bosses by day 80. With my new goal being set, I went to work immediately. I crafted up a Spinebreaker and sacrificed an Indominus Rex. I was stoked. Started with the best. Teleported to the desert to see what it could do, and well, it's not as good as I had initially thought. Managed to escape and brought out my new bestie to kill the damn turkey. I was short just one broodmother energy to make another Spinebreaker, so off to find one and had to venture all the way to the snow biome. Back home, sacrificed a dragon this time to make me a Spinebreaker, and I took it to my favourite place. Took my time levelling it up before I took on Mothra. We were successful but still weak, so I practiced on the Kraken before taking on not one, but two Tempests. It was the Indominus Rex's turn. Took it out. I was happy with the damage numbers, slayed quite a few primevals for their energy. See, I won't bore you with too much of the boss killing grind because there was a lot. To make one boss in the Ascension portal, you require 8 energies from the primevals and an artifact from the boss. You've got to then feed the item that you make to a primeval. It will die, and then you've got yourself a boss. I tamed a cool looking hell horse and found a honey cave. I got attacked by these aggressive little bastards, but my dragon had my back. Made me a MisterFister, took my seat upon his head and leveled him up. He's a bit goofy, but I love him anyway. The Kraken was up next, and I really liked this Colossal of the Sea. Had fast attacks and scary looking, but the Tempest was able to yeet it into the air. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Needless to say, we did not use the Kraken to take on another Tempest. I was doing well. I had 3 bosses of my own already. Needed lots more primeval energy to craft me an elemental Titanosaur. And to be honest, I didn't really like it. Big and clunky with terrible damage. Third trike was next, and I loved the makeover it got. The skulls looked wicked, the Doom Children give an awesome boost, and the damage numbers are just great. This one is a keeper. Getting primeval energy and some better armor were the only things on my mind. We took down so many creatures and few posed a challenge. It was the Tempest's turn. Goodbye pain in the ass and hello disappointment. I was not a fan. It proved okay in the Griffin Trench. It has a tornado attack which looks cool, but power-wise, Mothra gave us a run for our money. 6 bosses down, 3 more to go. Day 70 and the grind was on. Lots more primeval energy to collect. We need 3 more bosses to complete our collection and only 10 days to go. I wanted a full set of tech armor as well, so tried to take down this Spinebreaker. Was going well until it called in a reinforcement. 1 Spinebreaker is challenging enough, but 2? Absolute chaos. I should have bailed, but we have already established that I'm stupidly stubborn. So I persisted and managed to take them both down. You can decide, skill or luck. I had high hopes with Mothra. I know how hard she is as a boss to take down. She looks amazing, and she is okay, but definitely not my favourite. Good old Kyrene is next. I have slain so many of these. Time to see what they're like. Now, if you like having 0 visibility, this is the boss for you. I leveled her up and took her straight home. Worst one yet. Decided that some of these bosses weren't the greatest, and I would need something strong to take on the final bosses and Giant Hippo. I figured a bunch of mutated Indominus Rexes would be perfect, and tamed a few of them up. Brought them home and got started on mating them up. I'd done it. It was time to tame up Skana. She tried to hide from me in the ground, but I brought her out and took her down to pump some levels in her. She looks impressive, and I would hate to have seen one of these in real life. Took down a Tempest and marvelled at the achievement. All the bosses belong to me. It was getting serious. I made a tech replicator and placed an SS mutator so I could start breeding some Spinebreakers. Decided to take on a Spinebreaker for the trophy when this Titanosaur decided to join in. I wasn't too worried. I was able to take down 2 Spinebreakers last time. This should be a piece of cake. I wasn't counting on backing up into water and getting dismounted. Made sure the dragon was on neutral and got stomped by the Spinebreaker. Shortly after, I got the notification that my dragon didn't make it. spawn threw out 2 baby indoms which would serve as sacrifices and crafted a Spinebreaker. Whilst I waited for them to grow up, I took my new bestie out to find me a new dragon. Found this one, so pretty, but it was surrounded by this annoying pack of dogs. Quickly took care of them and stabbed it with my spike. Super happy I had a dragon again, but it needed leveling. Back to the desert and it's boss killing time. So many bosses had to die. I wanted a full set of tech. I was just missing the chest piece. And I finally got it. Day 80. We're close to the end. Sacrifice the 2 indoms to become Spinebreakers. That's a total of 4 that we've got now. Used the SS mutator and started breeding them up. Made sure to imprint the bubba and went to get more primeval energy. I have all the bosses, but now I want trophies. These trophies can be placed in your dino's inventory and make them more powerful. The MisterFister one makes your dinos 50% more powerful. This would be invaluable to the final boss fight. I spent a lot of time breeding, imprinting, and leveling up these beasts. So much time traversing the desert, taking on bosses. I had invited a friend to take on the final boss with me, so I set to work to get her a set of armor, because I had grinded up all my previous pieces. Whoops. Everything was going great, until it wasn't. I got a tad bored from the repetition and wasn't paying attention at the worst moment. Boom! Instant death. Frustrated with myself, I took my new bestie out to get me yet again another dragon. Found this hot pink one and tamed it up. Set off to finish this set of armor for September Dark, but I failed. I couldn't find shoes and I just gave up. Went home to craft some trophies and I've got quite the collection going on. Welcomed my good friend to my world, gave her the armor, minus shoes, and crafted the Ascension Arena. Soulballed everyone that would accompany us into battle and said goodbye to my base and tames. Set out to find the perfect spot to place the arena and figured this flat area would be ideal. Placed the arena, lined the troops up, gave them a pep talk, and set the arena up to take on the Ascension Broodmother. The damage numbers were crazy. Let's go! Come on, guys! The weakest link apparently is Mothra, and she went down quickly. Oh my god, my Mothra was killed! But we defeated the Broodmother with no further casualties. Let the show continue. The Megapithecus is next, and it was considerably harder than Giant Spider. Our next casualty happened, and it was Pickles.
Oh, Pickles!
Right, no, not Pickles. In the comments and join the Discord.
Pickles died.
First 10 people to do so will get an exclusive Pickles roll in commemoration. Up next, the dragon, and this one was worrying me. It's never fun to take on the dragon, and I was worried it would take to the skies and be unreachable. But that didn't happen, and the Spinebreakers annihilated it. Manticore was next, and it went down without too much of a fight. No one got knocked out, and we were good to take on the final boss, the Giant Hippo. With 364 million health, it is a feat not to be taken on lightly. Spawned it in and watched the damage numbers. The third trike and MisterFister were taken down quickly, as well as a few Indominus Rexes.
MisterFister's down, the third trike's down.
The Kraken and 2 Spinebreakers were next. I was getting a bit concerned. It was tearing through them, and then...
Come on, guys. You all have to get in there.
It's gone.
It was done. The final quest was a success. Thanks for watching.